Ever since Disney got the rights to Star Wars, they've been treating that property like a coin block in Super Mario World. They just keep jumping up and hitting it for an infinite money cheat code. They have been pumping out so much Star Wars content that by this point there's more Star Wars media than there is breathable oxygen on our planet. They've recently announced 9 new Star Wars games and 12 new shows and movies, absolutely blasting everyone's ass with as much Star Wars as a colon can fit. Now, I would consider myself a Star Wars fan. I think the new trilogy is insufferable garbage that's borderline unwatchable, but I think anyone with eyes has that same opinion. But I like the extended universe and specifically the Old Republic stuff. So I'm not exactly mad that there's so much Star Wars on the horizon, but I am genuinely upset and really disappointed that they haven't announced a spin-off, like a show or a game, for Star Wars' most beloved character, Glup Shitto. I'm sure most of you are familiar with the legend of Glup Shitto, especially if you've followed Star Wars for any length of time, but I'll give you a brief lore recap. Glup Shitto came into existence back during the Old Republic era and was able to achieve immortality, and he has thus persisted throughout all of Star Wars, mainly as like a puppet master behind the scenes, controlling the narrative from behind. He's neither good nor evil. He's kind of like the Morbius of Star Wars. Glup Shitto has grand plans that still haven't been realized even after all of this time in universe, and I just think Glup Shitto was a prime candidate for a show or a movie, or probably both, honestly, to tell his story. And with a lot of people suffering from fatigue of being just inundated with Star Wars content, I think Glup Shitto could have been the lightning rod to reignite interest in Star Wars as a whole. And that's really what I want to talk about today. So Glup Shitto started as a meme on Tumblr, poking fun at Star Wars fans who always have the same fucking wild reaction whenever a new show or movie is announced, where people get extremely hype and lose their mind over recognizing a cameo of a character that no one's ever heard of, and they just go so crazy for it. There's always thousands of tweets and videos reacting to the new show and movie with them like pointing at the screen like losing their mind. Oh my god, they brought back Bung Dooble from that Star Wars offshoot cartoon 19 years ago. Then they just go like full primal caveman mode, like their favorite football team just won the Super Bowl, screaming like, ah, this fucking guy had 3 scenes in that cartoon from back in the day. I can't believe he's here again. I'm so happy. And I know a lot of people get upset about this, like just let people enjoy things. It's not hurting anyone. What's the big deal? And you're absolutely right. It's not a big deal. It's not hurting anyone. And there's nothing wrong with getting super hyped that Biff Dumperooski from Star Wars Rebels bathroom scene that lasted 4 seconds is back. You know, that's great. I'm super glad that you're excited about that. But there's also nothing wrong with joking about it either, because it's very unique to Star Wars fans in particular. They get excited for any cameo of any character that's ever existed in the universe at all. If you look at like other properties that have that same level of fandom, like Marvel, they usually only get excited for superheroes. You know, like if they recognize a superhero from the comic books or a superhero that's already had their own property, like important characters that they recognize, then they pump their fist and go crazy. But Star Wars fans get excited if they recognize a fucking prop from a movie 50 years ago, like, holy shit, did anyone else notice in the new Boba Fett episode, the stool that Boba Fett sat on at the bar is actually the exact same stool that Han Solo sat in during the Christmas special of 1979. This is fucking incredible. They brought the stool back. The continuity's insane. I'm bawling my eyes out and I haven't stopped crying. This is amazing. You know, like they just get super excited for like background characters and background shit that no one gives a fuck about and no one even knows exist outside of like a few people ever. And today was a great example of it and why I'm talking about Glup Shitto, because there was so much new Star Wars information announced as well as trailers and stuff. And some people noticed a character popped up briefly, a character they recognized from something else. And it was a bit of a hype fest on Twitter for Gungi, a Wookiee Jedi. I don't know anything about Gungi. I've never heard of Gungi before, but people were going wild, and thus Glup Shitto's name was brought back into the megamix here, because this was a certified Glup Shitto moment. I, of course, looked into Gungi, and it's not exactly a prominent character or anything. It's the very definition of a background character from everything I see here. They appeared in the Clone Wars and only have indirect mentions elsewhere, and people were going wild for it. And if you want another example, on the same day, they also announced Babu Frick will be appearing in Mandalorian Season 3. And you guessed it, people went ballistic. They had Frick fever. Babu is back. This is a trend with the Star Wars fandom that dates as far back as the original trilogy with things like Admiral Akbar as well as the musicians. I actually think they're called jizz players or something like that. There's always just been, in Star Wars, people that go wild for these background characters that nobody else even really notices half the time, except for Akbar. Most people still remember Akbar. But for the most part, it's characters nobody has ever heard of ever. And they just go wild when they see them in any capacity at all. And there is something like wholesome about it. Like, it's kind of cute that characters like Babu Frick, who aren't really interesting in any way, still for some reason have a fan base around them. It's fucking amazing. So anyway, Glup Shitto. I think the best thing Star Wars can do for itself is bring Glup Shitto into the universe canon. I don't really even care how they do it. Maybe they do it as like a one-off mention, like on a foreign planet in their upcoming Andor series. The character goes up to like a real sketchy guy like Darth Insanius, and he's like, "Hey, have you heard of Glup Shitto? Where is he?" No one knows where Glup Shitto is. Like, and that would be enough. Just bring Glup Shitto into it officially at this point. Because half of the fan base actually engages in some real Glup shittery with how wild they go for characters that no one knows or no one cares about. And I want to make it clear, I'm not complaining. I actually love to see these posts where people are like, Boogoobie is back! Holy shit, Star Wars made him canon! He started his fanfic on DeviantArt, but I just saw him flippin' patties in the background of Jehubilex in the new Andor trailer. This is amazing. I can't believe I'm so happy. Like, that's great. I'm glad people are excited, and I get a smile on my face learning about more characters that'll probably have less than 4 seconds of screen time in the background of a show that no one has ever heard of ever. I think that's fucking great. I love that kind of like really niche, goofy shit. So again, I want to make it clear I'm not complaining. I just wanted to talk about it because I find it so fascinating and so interesting, as well as just overall entertaining. Because I think Glup Shitto is such a great name and such a great potential character. They could go full Darth Jar Jar Binks with it and have Glup Shitto be the ultimate evil. Like, that's where the Force comes from. The Force is just particles that Glup Shitto has thrown out into the universe somehow. I don't really care. I just think it's really enjoyable. So I wanted to talk about it. That's about it. See ya.